this will work out so well. I do hope so. Super, super excited for this, and it's going to be super fun. Just 1 second here. Let me figure some things out. The joy. It's been a snow day for us here in Boise, and it is so much snow outside. It is awesome. It is actually, it's going to snow for the next 4 days. So I'm beyond excited for you to, hi Dina, for you to be on here with me right now, because it is the inaugural Inspirator LIFE Facebook Lives, and joining me is Krystle Turner, who I'm going to add right now. Okay, so let me just add her on in. There we go. Adding somebody, so I hope this works. Let's see you pop on in here. And as you're hopping on in, let me introduce myself and what this is all about and why it's super exciting. So I'm Erin Kreitz Shirey, personal trainer and empowerment coach, and I own Inspirator Coaching and Fitness. And I've always wanted to have a magical podcast. However, podcast, it felt too overwhelming to be all the equipment and everything. And so I decided to just go for it and get those inspirators in my life who are amazing women who I work with. And let's see. And Krystle is the first one to be joining us today. And let's see here. It is, oops, not working. Add. Let's see if it will add her. And I put it out there to these wonderful women.
There we go.
There's Krystle. Yay! Oh,
Hi.
so
Sorry, I've never done this
space.
before. I couldn't figure it out.
Krystle, I haven't either. That's the fun part. Okay, guys, so this is the first one. So this is Learn by Doing. Hi, Deirdre, how are you doing? Learn by Doing is Cal Poly's motto where I went to college, and I feel like that's going to be every single week as I do these. But Krystle, oh my God, it's so good to see your face. I'm bubbly just to see your face right now. So
I think there might be a little bit of a delay, so we just have to be patient with each other. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've done the split screen lives just once before when I was on your end of it. I was one asked questions. You know what I mean? Like I was one being interviewed per se.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, but I did it on my computer, not on my phone. I realized it's better on the phone.
Can you do that?
Hey, Coach, how are you doing? So let me introduce you to the wonderful world, and I'm going to dig in a little bit about what we're going to do in the next 30 minutes here and how the heck we know each other and why I adore you so much. So quick question, though, before I get going. How is it snowing back there for you guys right now or no?
No, it's actually been like 80 degrees the last couple of days, and it just cooled off a little bit.
Oh my, it's a flip-flop from here because California had 80s, now they're cold, and in Boise it's now snowing buckets. And it's supposed to snow for the next few days here. So I've got like white sunshine or white snow that feels like sunshine coming in from my window right now. And
oh no, I can't take any more snow.
Bright and beautiful. I know. So let me retract a little bit now that I have you on here. Is it working?
Yeah, I'm trying to share it from my computer, and I don't know, nothing's cooperating for me today. So
okay.
Hopefully this
goes
well.
Okay, you guys. So those of you joining in, do me a favor, share this with your friends because it's gonna be so wonderful to have your friends get this fun element of information too and enjoy us for this half an hour of goodness and inspiration and motivation. And that's what this is all about. So an inspirator is an inspiration and motivator in one. And when Krystle and I first met 5.5 years ago, it was at a conference called FitBloggin. And what's so crazy about that is the fact that when we met was when I was just launching into another New York trip and I taught at the conference. That's how we met. And Krystle and I just kicked it off. I mean, we just had so much fun the entire time.
Yeah.
And what's interesting in that is the fact that in that time period, we got to be dear friends over the time and just supporting each other and cheering each other on different elements of life and different ups and downs and challenges that we go through. But that for myself was actually such a kickoff weekend to really saying yes to myself for going up. Right after we had met, I had gone to New York City. I did this big fitness tour with Fitness Magazine and Shape and met with some producers of a show. And it was just such an, actually I met Rocco Espirito that trip right afterwards. But that trip though, with you, we had so much fun just being together and laughing and having fun being silly and sweaty. And that sounds crazy.
I'm pretty sure I said, like, can I be your friend? I took your boot camp. And we were at breakfast the next day, and I was like, I kind of want to be friends with you. And now it's been 5 years.
I know. And in that time period, so much has happened. So why don't you share with my world and your world a little bit about you? And
Okay.
I want to know before we get started for anything else, actually, who are three of your inspirators? And I'm going to ask right off the bat. So share a little bit
Three.
about you
Okay.
and then three of your inspirators, okay?
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I was prepared for that question later, but all right.
No, I'm going to ask you
I'm
right off the
Krystle.
bat.
I'm showing up. I'm Krystle. Oh, my light just went off. I'm Krystle Turner. I am a newlywed. I am also Krystle Bailey. So you might see both. I blog, I basically do all things business under my maiden name. So whatever you want to call me is fine. But I am a mom of two. I have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I am a published author. I wrote a book called Nourish, A Journey to Loving and Embracing the Woman Within. And right now, life is ever changing. So right now, who I am is blowing in the wind a little bit. I'm pursuing a career in freelance writing, and I'm a poet, and I am an aspiring motivational speaker. And so things are kind of unfolding in a new season of life. So who I am at the core is a mom, a wife, a writer, a Christian, just a lover of life. I right now I'm showing up with a smile. And so three of my inspirators. Two, the first two kind of go hand in hand together. So two of my really good friends, I've been involved with Beachbody for several years, and I met two women through our Philly network. Kara Harvey is one of them, and she is a mom blogger. She inspires me just with her relentless ability to show up and get it done. And so she has a newborn and she's blogging and she's creating this amazing new mom summit that's coming up in March. And she just inspires me every day with her showing up with a smile and what she's doing with her life. And then my second one would be Lindsay Lombardi, who I also met in the same context. And um, I get emotional when I talk about Lindsay, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure why. She just is the epitome to me of strength and grace and just a powerhouse. I get emotional. See, just a powerhouse of a woman, and she's like one of those people that doesn't even realize how truly amazing she is. And so she really inspires me just with her humility and um, graceful confidence, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even realize she's confident. She's so graceful about it. So she's number two. And
That
then
phrase,
Erin.
though, that you just said, Krystle, graceful
Mhm.
confidence, that is the most beautiful phrase, though. To have graceful
Yeah.
confidence, where it just is ease, right? As I got
Yes.
goosebumps just thinking that, like, just the ease and grace, just graceful confidence. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps, sorry.
I know. I kind of just came up with that, and I like it too.
Yeah, write it down. Oh, it's recorded. So you
There we
got
go.
it.
We'll have to watch it back. I'm also a sap. I cry about everything. Like I'll probably cry again before we're done
Fine,
here, but it's
as
just
you
who I
should.
am. I'm learning to embrace it.
Yeah.
So, um, and then you, Erin, again, showing up
Oh,
for life. I'm really inspired by people who are just doing what brings them to life. And so you are my third. And how no
aw.
matter what life has thrown at you, I'm gonna put you up for a second. No matter what life has thrown at you through, and I remember when we met and you were telling me like you were going through marriage struggles or had been through marriage struggles, and I was newly with Nick, and I was like asking your advice, and you so willingly gave me advice, and to see you come from where we met to where you're at today and doing such amazing things in your truth really inspires me every day. And with your daughters being sick and just finding the positivity in life, and
Oh,
you're amazing.
thank you. Thanks. That just, no, I'm gonna cry, guys. That's not, we're supposed to start with crying. That's not how it goes.
I know, I
So,
know.
so what's so awesome though is the fact that think about the three women that you just shared. They're all inspirators in a different way. And that's why I wanted to ask the question at first, because the fact that when it comes to an inspirator, not often when people think of me, they think of fitness right off the bat and inspiration motivation. However, there's inspirators in so many different facets of our lives that we don't even think about, right? And so like in the arts or in music or in family, anything like that. And it's so cool because you came up with three people really fast, and
Mhm.
that's pretty
And that's just the
special,
beginning. There's
I
so
mean, that
many
you've
people
got,
that
and that's just the beginning. That's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like,
right.
That's pretty awesome. So let's go in there with some of the other fun questions that I know that you're ready for. And some I'm going to throw in there for you just because I have to. But
Okay.
what inspires you to just be you every day? To wake up and just be Krystle? Like, what inspires you to be who you are every single day? Now, I can probably think of two little nuggets that run into your bedroom every morning. But
Yes,
what
my
inspires
kids.
you to be? Because I think about you and I think about you sharing your story about, your dad and even with your big weight loss transformation and everything else and how you've been so open and honest. Those that don't know Krystle, she has been so open and honest about her journey through health and fitness too and helping and empower so many other women. And that's what I think is so beautiful about your honesty with it and also saying, hey, so here you are right now, as you said, you're shifting and blowing like with what's coming next. But what inspires you to just be?
So that question was the hardest that you threw at me, because it changes every day. So, I mean, there's a couple core things. First of all, prayer. I'm really prayerful. I'm really try my best to be faithful and let God lead in my life. And so every day, my prayer, if I don't pray nothing else, my prayers are to help me to be all that you need me to be today, whatever that looks like. And I'm realizing I have been sharing myself, my life for a long time. I have been vulnerable for a long time through the world of social media, and seasons change and day-to-day life changes, and I'm realizing that every day I need a little something different. Yesterday, I needed time with myself. Once the kids got to school, I dyed my hair yesterday. I needed that for me. It had nothing to do with anybody else. I just needed to spend some time. I put a mask on my face, you know, and I just took care of myself. Today I went to yoga and I had coffee with a friend and then I was ready. And so different things fuel me in different ways. But the main, there's two core things that really inspire me to show up every day. And that's knowing that I've been given a God-given voice and really just seeking in prayer what he needs me to do with it and realizing that it changes. There was a time in my life that weight loss was my story. And now it's a piece of my story and it's not so much the main focus. And so evolving with that. And then the second one is really knowing that there are women out there who don't know their truth or their worth or that who they are is valuable to this world. And so knowing that for me, that I haven't reached everybody yet, or not that I haven't, that everybody hasn't been reached yet by somebody, that hasn't been told that they're enough, that they're worthy, and that they're capable, that really inspires me. Like, I want to be vulnerable every day to reach one more woman that needs to know that they are exactly who they were created to be. So those two things really inspire me.
What you just tapped on though, the part with for women to realize they're worthy and capable. What's funny is that's how I phrase like my business, right? It's like I want to help women realize they're worthy and capable of doing, and through fitness, but then empowers them in other aspects of life. But what you just stepped on is what's so true is the more vulnerable that you are in sharing your story, the more that you're helping somebody out there who might not know you, but might connect with you in some way or a friend of a friend. And that gift that you've given them to realize that they're worthy of so much greatness is the most amazing gift you can give to anybody. And especially if we're going to talk about like the female tribe, right? If we're going to talk about amazing women and really supporting amazing women, the more honest we can be about, yeah, weight loss was part of your story, but it's not who you are right now, that we evolve over time. What worked for us at one
Yeah.
point, be it in fitness and friends and family and anything like that, it doesn't always work for us as time progresses. And it's not bad. It just means that you're evolving into the next
Right.
stage, right? So like what you just put with that too is to be every day, it changes. Just like
Right.
you're changing every day, And that's why we're so connected. I mean, I just am thinking
Yeah.
it's of you with a face mask and dyed your hair yesterday too. That's awesome. Like pure being in a house full of girls. Let's just say there's quite a few face masks all the time, and now Finney's gotten it in on the face mask action. And she came out the
That's
other day.
funny.
I was actually working at the desk, and she came out, and her face was covered in charcoal. And she goes, "Hi." I'm like, "What is going on?" And Mackenzie had given her this charcoal mask. And as I'm saying that, that could be why her cheeks are dry today. I blamed it on skiing, but it might be from putting a charcoal mask on a 4-year-old baby. I don't
Oh,
know. With two big
that's funny.
sisters, she's doomed for it, right? Like, bring it all
Yeah,
on, make over
for
the whole
sure.
time. But to where knowing that that's what you needed was just that time, right?
Mhm.
Versus rushing and not giving yourself permission to do it, which is what many women do.
It was
Like,
the
oh, I'll do it
time. Yeah, it was the time, but it also was like, and I made a post about it. Sometimes you just need to feel pretty. You know, as a woman,
totally.
yes, our worth comes from inside and our value comes from inside and all those things, but sometimes you just need to feel pretty. And I just needed to feel
Mhm.
pretty yesterday. And so
Completely.
it worked. It gave me what I needed.
Yeah, which is what's so nice, right? Like, I mean, and it was funny too, because I always think that you always look so pretty and your makeup looks so lovely. I always think that, and all everyone's like, God, I need to talk to Krystle. I'm in an event this next week, and I have to be pretty, not be pretty, but you know what I mean, like makeup on and everything, because
Yeah.
I'm the MC. So versus the hair in the ponytail, sweaty bun every day, right?
Oh, you're
And
beautiful.
so it's going to be so fun though to feel girly and
Yeah.
pretty is a funny word to say, but you know what I mean though, to where
Yeah.
to feel dolled up a little bit, right? Like it's
Yeah.
nice.
You need
And
it.
so
It's good for your ego.
it's good for everything. And it's funny because I think in some ways too that like being in fitness and empowering women, it's hard to say it's okay to empower yourself through makeup too. It's true to be like, oh,
Yeah.
you should be fine without your makeup on. No, it's okay to wear makeup too if that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
It's not a
Whatever
bad
makes
thing.
you feel, I say there's no rules to any of this. There are
No,
no rules to any of this.
no.
What makes you feel alive, that's where your focus needs to be.
Yeah, and then what allows you to shine the brightest, right? I would say you should shine so
Right.
bright that you have to have sunglasses to walk into the room. You know,
Yes,
others have to have
exactly.
sunglasses when you walk into the room. And so, okay, so what are three crystal nuggets that you incorporate into each day to make it feel full of ease and grace? So I think you just tapped on that
I
a
like
little
that
bit,
question.
but to make it feel full of
Yeah,
ease and grace.
ease and grace. So
Yeah.
the first two are kind of simple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to offer something that I'm learning in this new season of life. Um, Obviously, prayer. I already touched on that. Prayer is
Yeah.
everything for me. I pray throughout the day, just whatever I need. It just
Yeah.
I try. I'm not perfect by any means. I try to give it up to God. Second is personal timeouts. Like
Mm-hmm.
I used to, because I work at home, I used to feel like I had to work from the time I sat in my desk to the time I got up, and because my kids go to the daycare and stuff, and I used to feel so bad, like I couldn't take a break. And I'm learning now that my well-being depends on personal timeouts. And so
Mm-hmm.
lately the weather's been nice. I go outside barefoot, I feel the ground, I feel the sun, and I like just embrace all that today is. And that really serves me. But the one thing, this is my third,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm learning it. I took up yoga this year. In my search of what's next for my life, I took a couple things that I shifted. I started eating more plant-based,
Okay.
and I started yoga. And so I go to yoga studio in town, and
Great
I
combination.
love it. It's just the one place where I exhale. It is
Mm-hmm.
where I love to be. So one thing I'm learning, I've started reading books about yoga on and off the mat and how it impacts your life. And my one of my instructors offered this up to me the other day, and it really spoke to me. She said, "You have three options." We were in like I don't know some twisted pose. I forget twisted something we were in, and she's like, "You have three options right now. You could run, but you're already here. You could stay. Option two, you could stay, and you could be frustrated. You could say why this pose isn't for you. You could say why you're not flexible enough, you're not bendy enough, you're not whatever
Mm-hmm.
enough. And option three is you can stay and you can embrace where you're at and breathe in where you're at and know that where you're at is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And so she said that, but then she said, and everything I just told you about this pose that you're in, I remember it was half pigeon because I hate half pigeon. And I was like, okay, I got you. Um,
I know what you're talking
and
about.
it
Hips on fire.
hurts. Um, so she was like, you could she said, but take this off the mat. And what she said really spoke to me because I've been having a hard time in parenting my little dramatic 7 year old, which I know you know.
It's hard, and
Girls,
there's no guide, right? I mean, they have books for parenting,
no,
but each kid is so different. And
no. But
especially when you work with motivating people, you're like, oh, but my own kid, what's going on here?
right, exactly.
Mhm.
So what she has my instructor had shared, I'm going through something in my own life and I take this into my personal situation. I could run, I could stay and be frustrated, or I could stay and embrace it and breathe through it. And she said it's a dance. It's a dance between the three. You're not always going to be in the mindset of stay and breathe through it, but you know your options. And so that really spoke to me. And I took it home, and it's been a couple days, and I see the difference in how I speak to my kids. Even when they frustrate me, I'm like, I can stay and be frustrated. I can't go anywhere. So I can stay and be frustrated, or I can stay and just breathe through it and just be the best mom that I can be right now. So that's my third nugget of three.
You know what, the third one though, the third one is one that actually my kids use because my own
Really?
kids use that. Yeah. So, when we say 5 big breaths, like you can stay in that and get really mad. You can go to your room, you can stay and take 5 big breaths and then you can talk to us. And we all do it to where I see them counting with each other, or Emerson will even say to Mackenzie, hey, Mackenzie, I think you need to go take 5 big breaths and then come back and talk to me. But what it is though, is it's having them breathe through the situation versus being reactionary in that moment and being frustrated. And so exactly,
Right.
you can stay, you can go, or you can breathe through it, which is so wonderful
Right.
too, also because you're always changing and growing. And
Right.
everyone's always changing and growing. And so even what you maybe stayed for yesterday, you might need to breathe through the next day, right? Like it's just
Right. And that's like
how it
the
works.
equivalent with like the yoga equivalent is like you're in different poses. I'm sorry, my light keeps turning off. You're in different poses in on your mat, and you're in different poses in life. And so just taking those same principles
Yeah.
and taking it on and off the mat has really been helping me just kind of live more at ease.
Type that one down and put that on your wall. You know what I mean? Like type that even for
Yeah.
your kids. That's a good one because
Yeah.
you know what? Your daughter can read now and she's 7.
Right.
And so to where you can even have that work with her too when she gets kind of 7-ager, let's call them. It was a 3-ager. Now they're like 7-agers, let's say. And she can
Yes.
work through that too though. And Nick as well, you know, to where
Yeah, I love that idea.
but that just putting it out there, it's because her age is
I
to
like
where
that
like
idea.
little things will stay with them. And the reason I'm saying that, just with my own kids, it's been funny watching them with each
Yeah.
other. And Finny even talking to her dolls. You're really mad. I think you need 5 big breaths. I'm like, oh my god. but,
That's funny.
but it works.
You're doing
So
something right.
okay. So what on that fun laughing note? What makes you laugh until you want to pee your pants? And I say this because people forget to have fun. And when we first met,
They
we
do.
were laughing so hard. And this is one of my biggest stories. Like, life has to be fun. You cannot take life so very seriously.
Yeah.
Even the most serious of moments. And I use this example, right, with so many different people with medical stuff. It's like we're in the hallways with our kids, and there's IV pulls and stuff. We were having IV pull races, right? This other mom and I, a lovely friend Carolyn, and her son Ryan and Mackenzie are there, and we're pulling them in wagons as they're holding the IV pulls, or we were holding the IV pulls, and we're having races down the hallway in the hospital to make it fun and lighthearted, right? And we were
Yeah.
laughing so hard because it's just an absurd situation that you're in. It's so crazy, but you have to make it fun. And so I think that some people, oh, Renee just said she wrote it down. Yay, Renee, that's awesome. And
I saw
that some people just get so wrapped up in what's next, and they forget to just laugh,
that.
and they forget to just be and
Yeah.
laugh so hard. When we first met, we laughed so hard in that group exercise class with Jeff, who I've gotten to be friends with. And you guys, we took this class. It was a trampoline class. And by this point, Krystle and I had already been giggling about some other things, but we were laughing so hard because this teacher he's wonderful, and he's very outgoing and very out there. And he was laughing, like, purr like a kitty. And we're looking at each other, like, what? One of my favorite pictures is us taking pictures of each other jumping so high in the trampoline. But we laughed so hard, we probably did pee our pants, quite honestly. Like, I mean,
Probably.
I had
And we
2
were
kids by
jumping on
then,
the
so I probably
trampoline,
did.
so.
But, right? But what makes you laugh now so hard, and I say till you pee your pants, that's when you really like that belly laughter where you just can't help but be like, oh my gosh, I feel so amazing right now because I just laughed so hard.
Yeah, I really feel like the funniest times for me are watching chick flicks with my girlfriends with wine. It has to be those three. It has to be perfect. But like one example, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Girls Trip. It's a terrible movie. It's a
I
funny
haven't,
movie.
I
It's a
want to
great
see,
movie,
no,
but
I
it's a
haven't seen
terrible
it.
movie.
Yeah.
It's so bad, but it's so good. I watched it with my best friend Lauren, and I laughed like I had knots in my stomach for like 2 days. We laughed so hard. I was covered in tears, and
Oh,
it
that's
was like the best
awesome.
experience. But and like when I got married last year, and Lauren was also my maid of honor,
Yeah.
and I had never seen Bridesmaids, and
Oh,
she
you
said I
hadn't?
wasn't allowed to get married. I've seen it now because she said I wasn't allowed
Okay.
to get
I was like,
married
wait,
until
oh my
I saw
gosh, in the
Bridesmaids.
wedding dress in the middle of the street, and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so wrong.
But so we did a little like I had 5 or 6 girlfriends over my house and we had wine and food and we watched Bridesmaids. And like those moments with friends, we just get it. Like bad moms, stuff.
Yeah.
When you're with
Oh yeah.
people who get the life struggle and you can laugh at it together, those are the moments that really stick out to me as far as laughter.
Laughing so hard. Did you see Bad Moms 2? The Christmas
I
one?
did. I didn't think it was as good as the first one.
I say the last 5 minutes of it though, when
I
they're
don't
singing
remember
the
the last
song
one.
and they're all singing the song the last 5 minutes. And Bad
Oh
Mom,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
you have to watch it again just for the last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes of it, when they're singing that song, you last because it's so absurd, and you're just like, oh my god, it is
Right.
so absurd. And so it just, for
That's
those of you
funny.
guys watching and joining us, Bad Moms 2, it just came out, but the last 5 minutes, and I did bring my 13-year-old with me because we moved here. I don't have many friends here, and she wanted to see it too. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching, she has seen it. And my mother-in-law, sorry, Denise, but she's seen it. And we laughed. And Mackenzie, obviously, some of it went over her head, but she is an 8th grader. She hears stuff at school. I'd rather be the one
Right.
talking with her about it, right? Than
Yeah.
not taking her to some crazy naughty movie. Bad Mom, some of the humor, guys, is pretty raunchy, some of it. But it just, though, is
Yeah.
so funny those last 5 minutes. You cannot help but giggle so hard and make you go, my
Right.
life is pretty boring. And it's wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
here's one. When we met was through fitness, and I'm a big one for taking fitness adventures because when you take an adventure out of what you do normally, so now you're into yoga, when you take an adventure out of what you do normally, it just gets you out of your comfort zone. It gets you challenging yourself. It gets you thinking differently, and it gets you really realizing what you're capable of doing. And we talked about being worthy and capable. And it's why I started Inspirator Retreats 2.5 years ago, was because, well, one, I wanted to travel and see places, but I had the kids with medical stuff, so it's hard to leave. But two, I knew that I really wanted to inspire other women to do the same. It's like big fitness adventures, and not just for the fitness part, but for what the adventure means to them, to getting them pushing
Yeah.
limits, right? And to getting them to think what's bigger, what's beyond, what's really out there, and what they can do and see and be present in. And so for you, when it comes to fitness, where and what is one fitness adventure that you cannot wait to accomplish? And when will you do it? Because I'm going to hold you to this, because we're going to put a date out there for you to have one fun fitness adventure. I like that fun smile, Krystle. You're like, uh-huh. And I'm going to follow up with
Because I'm
you.
like, no, I don't have a
Yes.
date.
My next retreat is going to be in Hawaii or
Um,
Costa Rica. You can join for that one.
what is it?
The next fitness retreat I lead is going to be in Hawaii or Costa Rica. You can join for that if you want.
Oh,
I
there you
know, right?
go. That's a good option.
I know.
Um,
Or what would it be doing too?
so I don't really have like necessarily a big objective goal. What I really want to focus on this year is playing more. I got an email, well, Nick got an email, about a softball team, like a local softball team.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to do that. I want to play softball. I want to play tennis. I want to run like the bouncy 5Ks. I want to do fun things. And so for a long time, I did those things, but I've also always been kind of tied to, and I love Beachbody. I love all the
Yeah,
Beachbody's done
yeah.
for my life, but I've also been tied to the at-home workouts a lot and
Yeah.
like making sure that I got my at-home workout in, and I kind of freed myself of the, I still use it all the time,
Yeah.
but the demand to, and
Mm-hmm.
so that I can live just however I want to right now, because I'm kind of blowing, like I said, I'm blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
So with that, I want to give myself permission to like let a tennis match be my workout, or let a softball game be my workout, and I really want to play. I want to play more.
That's awesome.
um, so I don't really have like a I'm gonna do this by this date. I'm dabbling with the idea of getting yoga certified to teach, but I don't know. I don't know if that's for me yet or not. I'm just
Very
gonna
fun.
kind of see where it leads me. I like it right now, and
Yeah. What if there's even like a
I don't know.
fun yoga retreat in Vermont or something? Because you're in New Jersey. And so if there's like a fun, say, 2-day yoga retreat or something where you can go and just learn more about it, and let
Yeah,
yourself just go away for a couple of days, where it's an adventure, but then it's yoga.
yeah,
And it
I would love
pushes you
something
beyond your
like that.
physical limits in yoga too, to where if you have to do it for that many hours every day.
Yeah,
And so in a beautiful place. But the play part is key. The play part is
yeah,
what's funny with the play part is that's why I find to be one of the biggest benefits of being active forever, just a lifelong athlete, but continuously being active, is the fact that
right.
um, you can just go out there and play and do anything without worrying about hurting
Yeah,
yourself. And so now I'm not going to say I'm going to go pop into the splits right now because I don't do gymnastics all the time. However, at a kid's birthday party a couple weeks ago, we're there, and a lot of parents were standing around talking, and whatnot. And there's a rope. So I'm climbing the rope as Finley's climbing the rope to get to the top and doing pullovers and fun stuff like that. And we're running around and jumping
Right.
on the trampolines. And it's just so much fun to play, to where
Yes.
you wouldn't be able to do that and just the climbing and everything. And like doing pullovers on the bars with kids, playing at the park, playing tag, but the softball part, are you there? Oh, for a second. But the softball part's fun. I love it because it's also fun with other people. You know what I mean? To where it's team.
Yeah.
It's like being a kid.
I, Someone said, oops, she's gone. Am I here now?
Oh yeah, you're there. You're there.
Okay,
You're
my
back.
phone rang, sorry.
Oh, um, you know what? I didn't ask you this question, but it's interesting because this is one I asked some clients. And last week was and I had them come up with 10. I'm gonna have you come up with just 3. What are 3 things that you love to do as a kid that you don't do now that you want to do more of? Because you said play, it made me think of this question.
Yeah, well, softball's one of them. That's a
Okay.
big, I played softball for, I don't know, 12 years or something. A long time I played
Yeah.
softball. And I haven't played in a long time. And then I got nervous because I saw that email come in. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Do I even remember the rules? Do I even remember how to play softball?
Doesn't
Um,
matter. You'll remember. It's like riding a bike.
you figure it out. It's probably like riding a bike, I would think.
Yeah.
Um, that's one. I mean, the other one was writing, really, writing poetry and stuff, which I picked up again, and it feels good to do
Yeah.
what I've always enjoyed. So that's the second. Third would probably be like basketball, like tennis, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
We used to play with friends, and I can't remember the last time I like just played with friends, running around outside and getting sweaty. I chased my
Versus it
kids
being
around,
like
but
for a goal, right? Like versus
yeah,
being for
exactly.
like, okay, do this workout together and then we can play and then we can hang out. Like such focus
Yeah.
versus just going out to go play.
Yeah, we used to play like what is the basketball? Horse, is that what it's called? The basketball
Yeah.
game outside, like, or around the world and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
all
Just
that.
fun little games we used to play, and I haven't done it in a long time. I would love to do stuff like that again with people who want to do it too.
Yeah, right. They just want to go
I'm
play.
like,
So
hey, do
that's
you want to play with me?
why not? That's one thing. Kids are so great about. We just moved here, right? 6 months ago, and I look at the kids in the playground and watching them be so quick to meet new people and watching them be so quick to
Yeah.
just say, hey, let's go play. Because playing, what does playing do? It breaks down any barriers. And as adults, you get older. It's like a
Right.
fitness class. You meet people in spin class, meet people here, meet people. But to where just playing, and so versus
Yeah.
leagues or something. So,
Yeah.
so I have a question for you. Tell me about Nourish. I
Okay.
want to know all about Nourish.
Okay. Before I do, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to walk to the door in a couple minutes to get Eliana off the bus. So
No problem. No problem. Because we're going a
just
couple minutes over since we finally got the glitches worked out to get us started here. But
yeah. So yeah, I have a couple minutes though. So Nourish. Nourish is my personal story. It's very personal to me. It's very raw and just authentic. It is everything that basically I've ever struggled with into a book and how I overcame it, more or less. Um, I talk about weight loss and body image and marriage and losing my father and um, false names that I've carried around with myself for years that I finally let go of and freed myself of. The chapters of Nourish spell out the word nourishment. So to give you an
okay.
idea of what they include, I talk about nixing the comparison game. That's the main focus, and how comparison has robbed me and too many other women of entirely too much joy for far too long.
Mhm.
Next, the comparison game. Open your heart and mind, living with an open heart and mind. Unleash the strongholds. Realize your truths. Invite God in. Am I spelling it right? Yeah. Struggles create your
Yep.
story. Heal your mind. Main thing. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Empowering the women around us, nurturing relationships, and trusting the journey. So that just gives you a little bit of idea
Wow.
of what's in the book. And then, like I said, it's really, I'm actually recording the audio version now. So
Mhm.
I'm reading it out loud and I'm hearing it read back to myself. And I'm like, holy crap, like I put this out to the world. This is like my real, raw truth.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
What's the
I can
scariest
still
part
talk. I'm
about
just
it?
making my way to the door.
Okay. What's the scariest part about it, Krystle? Because you already wrote the book, and I would think even like the journey of writing the book and getting it on paper, because I've been struggling with that. I have a book that I've been talking about writing for, goodness, 6 years now, and I haven't done it. I've got part of it started, and I said, this is the year to write it. Like, there's no question, 2018, this is the year to write it. And so, but it's kind of scary to think about putting everything onto paper. And I've written forever different pieces, but a book is a whole nother story. You know, it's getting deeper and deeper into it. And so for yourself, what's the scariest part, since you've already written it, but with putting it out there?
Well, the scariest part to write it, first of all, was sitting with myself long enough to be okay with whatever came out.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes sitting with yourself is one of the scariest things to do.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it?
It is, so it's 1:36 here. So for you, it is 3:36.
By moving outside.
Okay.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that I'm here for.
That's going to put your feet in the roots, right?
Yeah, it's cold out today though.
Oh.
And I'm like looking that way. This thing has me like turned sideways, so I don't know where I'm looking. I guess I'm supposed to look that way.
You're looking just fine. You're looking great, my friend. You're looking awesome.
So now that it's out though, the scariest part is people. Well, okay. When it first came out, the scariest part was my family reading it, my mom reading it, my husband reading it, people that know me that never knew some of the deep things that I shared in the book. That was really scary. Once that was over, it was like, okay, ripping the Band-Aid off. Now it's strangers reading it. So for example, like I met a couple new friends a couple weeks ago. One was 92, a 92-year-old man and his wife who said they wanted to read my book. So I gave them my book.
Okay.
And then they introduced me to their friend who's 22, who is a trainer and like a model and stuff. And I gave him my book because I was like, oh, you're training women. I think that my book would be really good for women. Maybe you can check it out and see if it'd be good. And like, so these three people are new people I just met. And I'm like, basically, here's my whole life story. If you still like me when you're done reading. Like, and so like these new people that I'm just meeting, you know, normally you meet somebody and you gradually get to know them. Well, now that I say I'm an author and people read my book, it's like you get to know me in one package shot. So but it's cool in a way because it's like, well, if you still like me after reading my entire life story, then we'll be good friends.
Isn't it freeing though too in some ways, just to free and just put it out there? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
hard, but also as hard as it is, in some ways probably you might feel, because I don't, maybe, but like 10 pounds lighter too, just because you put that part out there. And as hard as it is to write, but to like write and let go and be able to allow yourself to move on like you are right now to where what's coming, you know?
Right. Right. And there's a million things. It just came out in September. There's a million things that already changed.
Yeah.
You know, reading it out loud, I'm like, oh, that's a run on or whatever. Like nothing major, just like little things. And I'm like, yeah, I could have said that differently, but what are you going to do now?
Well, it's part 2. Nourishment journey. There's your next one, right?
Yeah, exactly. The journey after.
I want you to be so available for Ileana when she hops off the bus to give her a big old hug. So, do you want to, I have a feeling that we did talk about this, but to do a fun Nourish giveaway. And so how are we going to do this giveaway? What would you like to do it? Because this giveaway, I think, is going to be pretty awesome for everybody watching. And those that can watch through the next 24 hours, you have the opportunity to win Krystle's book, Nourish. And so how do they do that, Krystle? What did we come up with?
So I think what would be fun is maybe comment on here, like what makes you feel well nourished, well taken care of. In Nourish, I talk a lot about, hold on one second. I'm here. I talk a lot about filling your circle or filling your cup. And so I reference like what my circle being full is taking care of my mind. I'm going inside. Come on. Mind, body, spirit, and relationships. And those are those 4 pillars. Like when they're well taken care of, I'm well nourished, I'm whole, I'm fulfilled. So what makes you feel nourished? What do you do to fill those pieces of your life and fill your own cup? And so that when the goal is to fill your cup so much that you're overflowing into the lives of others. So what do you do? Comment something, anything, a list of things that make you feel filled up. And then from the comments, we'll do a random choosing. If you want to
Yeah.
share it, that would be awesome. You know,
Yeah.
tell somebody. And yeah, in 24 hours, we'll pick a winner.
Do that. So they have to share
Hi,
it,
baby.
do the comments, share it, and then tomorrow night we can take all the comments and those that have commented and shared, and then we're gonna pick a winner from those for hello, beautiful. You have gotten so big. Oh my goodness gracious. She is so big and beautiful. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how big she is.
It's crazy.
Wow. It is. It is. When we met, she was in the Dora the Explorer.
Oh my gosh, I know.
That's
No,
so crazy.
she's so grown.
I know. I know. Well, my oldest had a shadow day at high school today.
Oh,
which is crazy. But then, of course, we continued on with Finley, who's 4. So, okay, guys. So Dana's already commented. She's already in it, and she's sharing this. Okay, Dana, thanks for getting it started. So we will do that. I will put links for how to find Krystle in all of our comments, as well as I invite all of you that popped on today for the inaugural Inspirator Live. I invite you all to join us over at Empowered Inspirator Life. It is our own private Facebook group that's getting started because there's all these Facebook pages that are wonderful, but in a private group, it is so much more fun to be able to share the workouts and the encouragement and motivation and everything. So that link will be right down below. And otherwise, every Monday and Thursday, majority of Mondays and Thursdays, I'm going to say every, Mondays and Thursdays, you'll have Empowered Inspirator Life to learn more Inspirators everywhere. So come on, join us on this fun journey. And Krystle, thank you so much for being here today. I miss you buckets, and I cannot wait to see you when I'm in New York in the fall. Or when you come out here for the Inspirator Summit in September.
Yes, send me those. Let me know about that.
I know. I'm getting those dates.
All right. Thank you so much, Erin. I appreciate it.
Bye, Krystle. Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in.